Yeah, it was a weird one. I know Kenny Baum. We're beating around the bush. Let's talk about the main event because that's what everyone is crashing out about, talking about. End of this main event between Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley saw Jon Moxley retain the AEW World Championship with a little bit of assistance
Bro, he's
after
talking
the
about
match.
the main event?
What? Yeah, let's go right. Well, because we got another. The real main event is something else that has to do with Brian that we do got to get into.
All right.
What?
What
happened in the
We
main
got to
event?
talk about what happened during that Will Ospreay match because but let me tell you guys. Let me tell you all out there. It was crazy time. It was Bizarro World, the craziest thing I've ever seen happen before my eyes that Brian did happen, and we're going to talk about it later on in the show. But Kenny Baum, the end of this match, we saw a bit of a train wreck happen after Moxley
Let's talk
retained.
about the match, Big Om.
Well, let's talk about the match. What do you think about the result?
But before we talk about the match, I do got to say I apologize to everybody who was in the stream we did before the show on Saturday because Big Om, he was going crazy. So first off, apologies for him.
I was going crazy.
But I think the match was very interesting. Because especially what happened at the beginning because Jon Moxley came out and apparently I'm not sure if it was him or the security guard or Marina Shafir, but one of them knocked this girl down or something. Jon Moxley picked her up, kissed her on the head, and she was down there going crazy. Did y'all see the clip?
Yeah, we've seen the clip, and I also seen her on Twitter.
Oh,
and it's funny because we was walking and I pointed it out to. I'm like, yo, that's the girl that got kissed by Jon Moxley on his way to the ring.
And
she was right next to us, right after.
She seemed to be fine with it.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see it?
Yeah, I missed all that.
Yeah. It was funny. It was interesting. I think Jon Moxley just being like a bad dude just reminded me of Bowser, just the big bad guy. And for him to like protect her and kiss her head afterwards, I thought, he broke character. That was it was cool.
That was his way to
Not something you would have seen MJF do. Not something you would have seen MJF.
He would go stick his middle fingers.
MJF would have pushed her back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're out of my way.
Pour the water on her head.
I think the match overall over-delivered because this was the main event, but it's probably the match that I wasn't really interested in seeing more than a lot of the other matches. But because it was Orange Cassidy, we already knew he wasn't going to win. But there were some times in that match where I was like, wait a minute, he's about to take this thing. All down to when he hit him in the head with the briefcase. So overall, I think the match delivered. Just what happened after the match is kind of what I had an issue with. Before I get into that, Brian, what did you think about the main event?
I thought the main event was pretty good. Had me on my toes. Jon Moxley, man, seeing this character in person blew me away. I didn't really realize on TV, how good it actually is till I saw it in person. The guy's built. He looks like a monster. The new look he has and everything like that definitely goes a long way. So, anyway,
the big man.
Anyway, man, I just think Jon Moxley, man. I mean, listen, workhorse of the company. We've been saying it on this channel. I think we've all collectively agree that Jon Moxley has been the guy for AEW. Whenever things go wrong, hey, call Jon Moxley, put the title on him, and we'll get this company back on track with him there. So, again, man, it was a fantastic main event. I wasn't really interested in the Orange Cassidy thing, but they made me care in the main event. I think that's what matters. Mr.
Dubs, what did you think about the main event as a whole?
I thought the world title match was good, not great. I thought the build started out really well. As I was mentioning earlier, I was super high on the Death Riders thing when they started it. After everything they did to Danielson, I thought it was going to be their version of a bloodline type long-term storytelling in a sense. But I thought once we didn't get the big Shane McMahon reveal, it really lost a lot of steam for me, as it really seemed like that's where they were hinting as they were going. So I'm not sure if something fell through in contracts or anything, but Moxley initially was talking about like he's not doing this for him. There's someone else pulling the strings. So for me, not getting that and them kind of just dropping that really kind of took away a lot of my hype going into this match. That being said, I thought Orange Cassidy came out of this match looking way better than he did going in. Nobody was expecting him to win, but he was the ultimate underdog, filling that Danielson role. I think he's got a lot. I think he's got a lot more higher stock coming out of this than he did going in, because no one expected him to win. So being able to lose the way he did and go out on a shield like that, pun intended, I thought it was a really great showing for Cassidy. I thought the post-match segment, I was a little like, why is Hangman Page coming out right now? Because he lost. Like, it made perfect sense to me if he won his match. great, this is your next contender. So it was super confusing. But then we got the Christian thing, and then we got Jay White, and I was like, oh. So by the end of it, I was actually okay with it. I was like, okay, you just got a cluster. You want your main events to be all crazy, and then you have the Darby Allin thing at the end. I was like, fantastic. I absolutely loved the Darby Allin part where he just went crazy. I thought that was fun. Sense. I loved it. So the chaos to me was actually a breath of fresh air, because otherwise, going into this pay-per-view, I thought the only strong program, the only strong thing going in was the Hurt Syndicate. That's been my favorite thing on AEW television the last several weeks. But I'm happy with the way this turned out.
Get up in there. I don't know what's going on. The mic's kind of going in and out. Like we can hear you some, but then is that just me or y'all hear that too?
No, yeah, we hear that too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
okay. I can try and see if I might have mic monitoring on.
No, it's good now. It's good now.
It's perfect. But Mr. Dubs, I absolutely agree with you. There was a lot going on there. So I thought it was going to be Shane McMahon at first, but then there was a report coming out that said Shane McMahon didn't have anything to do with it. We'll have to talk more about that. But Big Om, your thoughts on the main event before we get to what happened at the end?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, retweet what Kenny said in the chat. But guys, I thought this main event. No,
I'm the one typing.
Brian's crashing out.
What Brian said in the chat. Agreed. But guys, this main event was awesome. It was everything I wanted it to be. Obviously, Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy, they have gone toe to toe multiple times. This was the rubber match between these two. Moxley comes away with the win. We know what Moxley represents. Like Brian hinted towards it, bro. Jon Moxley right now is on like a different level than I think like anyone else in pro wrestling. Brian, I think you were the one who told me this like after the show, right? You said like right now, man, there's not many people who can touch Moxley, right? Well, is that what you said? Because
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I told you at the end of the show. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's my favorite character in wrestling.
Whoa! Ooh, wait a minute.
Really? In all wrestling?
WWE representative just said,
Kenny.
Whoa.
I told you
Cody Rhodes.
I told you I got 2 of AEW's guys in my top 3.
Who else?
I'm not joking.
Who's the third man?
To me is right now at this very moment. It is Jon Moxley, Cody Rhodes, and Will Ospreay.
All right. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not like the other, bro. Come on now.
What you talking about?
I mean, let him have it, bro. It's fair. Let him have it.
What? Have what?
It's my top 3, low, bro.
Look. Hey, man. Look. Hey, man. You know what? You keep your little top 3. All right. We live in fantasy land.
Omer, do you have a problem with Moxley? Are you not a Moxley fan?
No, I love Moxley.
You're trying to get on Cody, bro.
Look,
bro, just because this run has been slightly underwhelming, and we'll get into it if you want to later, does not mean that I can't talk about him. Damn, did Tony Khan pay Brian?
Wow,
listen, bro, I'm still a WWE representative. I'm just gonna be honest.
WWE representative.
Y'all talking about some Cody is crazy, bro. I literally got this man signed belt back there with his portrait, bro. That's never changing, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm just right now, Jon Moxley, he just got me, bro. That's all it is.
Jay Barnacle says Jon Moxley greater than Cody Rhodes. I can't disagree with him. Cannot disagree.
It's not even close right now. I mean, like
right now it's not close. Right now it's not close. I just want to point this out. This is not something that's like I'm not talking all time right now. I'm talking about right now.
Right now in the moment.
No,
and that's a big statement though, because I think
you like where they're going with the Death Riders thing. Because I was a huge fan.
I personally love it. I love the briefcase. Yeah, like it's so cool that you don't see the title. Like I know a lot of people like emphasize, as a wrestling company, you're supposed to see the title, but like just knowing it's in that briefcase is like it's super cool, bro. And I like the attire.
Having to take it through the airport.
No, but
that too.
Notice this too. On all the promotional material, whenever Jon Moxley is going to be on TV, they don't have the title in the picture. Like whenever they have like a match graphic or whatever. Or a promo graphic, they never have it in the picture, and that's a deliberate action. And
that's the whole point, though.
Yep. Because Jon Moxley is going to represent AEW.
Do you think they're changing the way the world title looks? Because Kenny's got that beautiful belt in the background.
That's why I bought it.
It could. It's very possible, bro, that it could change. Like I'll be honest, bro. The only way I see it changing is if Shane McMahon comes in at World's End. He's like, "This is my company now, and here's a belt for you."
I've been hoping for that for weeks now.
I think we're gonna if we get him, it's gonna be our World's End because they're gonna try to make something really big happen for the new year to kind of just burst that in.
That makes sense.
But when we went to the merch table and I saw that AEW belt discounted to like $600, I was like, Big Om, they might be getting rid of them. And that's the night Moxley put it in that briefcase. So that's why I had to go ahead and get it. Because I don't know why. We just went back and it was like $850 again. So I just got lucky. But I think that's big what Brian just said. The fact that Moxley is like one of the best characters in wrestling right now, because there was a time where he slipped far under what Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins was doing. So for him to actually be back up in that level, it's like he went away, scrapped everything, got in shape, came back with the baldy, and now I think he's just refreshed. And I think he's 100 times better than Seth Rollins is right now. Roman Reigns, the guy just got a different type of aura, but I think Jon Moxley, seeing him like in Roman Reigns stand face to face right now, I think you'll feel like that big match feeling moment right now, bigger than Roman versus Seth Rollins.
The goatee, by the way, on Jon Moxley just makes him look super evil.
And the bald head.
It's working. It's working.
Yeah, I like the
bald head and a goatee. Who'd ever thought that gimmick might work?
Good point. But y'all, I mean, the whole match was great. You know, it had us up out of our seats watching the whole time. But at the end, Tony Khan crashed out. I don't know if he thought this match just wasn't enough or what, but it just like went off the rails. Hangman Page, who just lost early in the night to Jay White, is standing face to face with your AEW champion. So I'm like, what are you doing? You just lost the match. Christian Cage comes out. So I'm like, okay, I guess Hangman is doing this for Christian Cage so he can get a title match down the line. It makes sense. Then another guy comes out. I'm like, what is going on here?
I think Brian right now is finna to make a run in real quick.
He's about to make it now. He's probably running to the McDonald's to get some chicken nuggets, as he always does. But yeah, they completely crashed out at the end of the match. I told Big Om I didn't like that. Big Om was trying to make some excuses for it, but I was like, bro.
So here's what
I enjoyed it. I thought that was great. But yeah,
all of the run-ins.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. I thought with Hangman, I was like, this makes no sense. I'm fine with the stare down. Why did Hangman lose then? But then as soon as you had the contract thing with Christian, I was like, I forgot he even had that. What is okay? And then you got Switchblade come out. I was like, okay, so they're just trying to make the world title picture seem chaotic and crazy. The Darby Allin thing, that's what sold it for me. Because I'm like, oh,
that part was good.
They just
just
that was the best part.
Though.
The Darby Allin part was the best part, but that's what saved it for me.
Go ahead, biggest
White, I was like, this is silly. Once I saw Darby Allin, I'm like, all right, you got me back in. You hooked me back in with Darby Allin. Perfect.
Listen, I would not expect you plebs who don't watch Collision to understand the intricacies of the storyline that's happening here.
Collision live, sir.
But I'm not watching.
Once, Mr. Dubs, let's not act like you.
The only time it's the only time it came to my city ever.
Well, look, let me be clear. I will be the first to admit this was a hot mess. like after I watched the back, look, I understand kind of what Tony was going for, because if you watch the product, all of these storylines are kind of related. Jay White was cost the Owen Hart Cup by Christian Cage and Hangman Page. Hangman Page has beef with Jay White because obviously they're in the storyline, and Christian Cage and Hangman have a weird alliance to take out Jay White. Like that's like the weird story that's been going. I didn't think you necessarily needed to do this in this way. This felt more like like that specific part felt more like something that was apt for like Dynamite than it was for like your big pay-per-view. I thought if they had like split this up, just let me finish. I'm gonna let you talk.
Interject before you get too far.
Tony Khan had the best ending of all time. No, but like if this was like on Dynamite, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But like you do all that, and it's like a bit of a confusing mess. And then you have Darby do this awesome angle where he just like bull rushes.
No, don't go to Darby yet. Don't go to Darby. We're talking in ring right now.
Well, but you can't let me see him. I'm being canceled here, man. I'm being canceled live on the air.
Yeah, because I just mentioned the mess in the ring, and I said I had a problem with it. I like the Darby stuff, but you said if you watch the product, Collision is when nobody's watching, you would understand.
400,000 people.
The main story, or the main point of this whole story, is Jon Moxley is hijacking AEW. Nobody's getting this championship. I'm taking it off the market. So why would Jay White, who is a part of AEW and not a part of this Moxley crew, come save him? Wouldn't you want Christian to cash in?
No,
so you can
because
take the belt
F Christian Cage. Because F Christian Cage. That's why. Like,
I know we not justifying this ending.
Big Om's trying to justify.
I'm not justifying. I'm explaining. It's a
that ending absolutely sucked. That ending absolutely sucked.
It sucked. It took the wind out of my sails.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. For like, I remember me and Kenny looking at this like. It was one of those things where it was just, I don't know, bro. It just threw me off because we were sitting there and we were like, all right, it's over. I would have been okay with just the Darby angle and calling it a day. I just didn't understand everything else. That's why it felt like
Darby
super
Allin
overbooked.
Is what made it for me, so I can't disagree.
Yeah, the Darby thing was perfect. Like it was like, all right, there we go. and now you write off, the show with that. But they left us with like a lot of just, confusing angles. I get like people wanting to have questions about the show, but I don't know, bro. It just felt completely overbooked.
Right.
It
I
was.
feel like had they forget Christian and Jay White as part of that, had they had Hangman win and then come out and do what he did, and then have that stare down with Moxley, that would have been a great end to the paper.
But Hangman's not going to beat Jay White. That's like actually like this is
But
another thing.
I know, I understand it's long-term storytelling for them because it's the one guy he can't overcome. I got that.
No,
And I was
that's
like,
that's bad. It's bad.
That's the thing, though. Hangman
it's
has
okay.
never
It's
beat
it's
Jay
okay
White.
to
Okay, well,
have
let's
that
get
one
to
guy that
Hangman.
just always beats.
Let's get to Hangman and Jay White, but let's talk about the crash out segment first because that's where
Literally.
I loved it. I wish after
Literally.
the match, John Moxley just retreated, went to the back, and then we saw the big car crash. Which y'all, I don't know if y'all heard or not, but apparently there was not a stunt double. Darby Allin was in that car and he really
100%.
ran into the
I
truck.
will-
I believe that.
I will have
I
you
believe
know
that
that there-
100%.
There was a stuntman in that car, and his name was Darby Allin.
Darby Allin was the stunt man. But I completely loved that part. Like if you left off with that, it would have been amazing. Just the extra Christian Cage stuff was unnecessary.
Let me just, I just need to
Agreed.
address one thing. Keyshawn, love you. Amazing. Great fan of the show. We love that. Brother, you did not watch WCW in 2000. It was, this is like, that is another level of bad that you cannot compare Full Gear to WCW 2000. Like, I
And
sat there and watched almost every
No.
show from that era. Ooh, it was bad.
we don't
Ooh, it
do
was
Vince
bad.
Russo slander in here. He is the greatest wrestling booker of all time. That's all I got to say about
I
that.
don't know. Unblock me on Twitter, bro.
All right, but y'all, there was the other match what everybody's talking about. Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White.
Nobody's talking about this, bro.
No,
Let's
we
go
were
ahead.
talking about it in this in
We're
this
literally
circle,
talking about it right
buddy.
now.
That's fine.
We were literally talking about it.
And I wasn't paying attention.
I don't like that this is the guy Hangman can't overcome because Hangman is just coming off of a storyline where he couldn't overcome Swerve Strickland. So
But
why
he
are we
did.
doing the same thing with him again? I think when he finally overcame Swerve Strickland, burned his house down, he needed to be on some type of hot streak leading him back up to that world championship. But now they're beating him down again and he's doing the same thing.
He's just, bro. The thing with Hangman is right now, bro. It's just, bro. I like his new repackage, like the entrance and all that. It's pretty fire, especially in person. It's pretty
Literally.
cool. But it's probably probably one of the best entrances in wrestling. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty dope.
Love it.
But I don't know, bro. I think these wrestlers, right? And I'm not just talking about Hangman in this situation. I think that a lot of these wrestlers seem to get over themselves and think that they're bigger than they really are, and they start putting people over and hurt themselves in the process. And I think Hangman is currently a victim of that because he has the power to, swindle a little decision here and there. He has the power to put himself over, but he's putting wrestlers over aside from himself. And I guess that they can be building up to an angle where he goes even crazier than he already is, and starts winning matches. But I mean, bro, we've already seen this angle before, so I think he just needs to start winning matches. And
I agree with you. I don't
We'll
agree with
see.
you very often, Mr. WWE, but I think you are absolutely right. We saw Kenny Omega do it. We saw the Young Bucks do it. We saw Britt Baker do it. I mean, they just get in this spot where they think, Tony Storm's doing it right now. She feels like she got so good so she can leave. You got to keep going when you get hot. You can't take your foot off the pedal. Mr. Dubs, what do you think about this match and how do you feel about Hangman Page's run overall?
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I've never been a big fan of Jay White. He's never really clicked with me as a heel or a baby face, at least not in AEW. I never really watched him in Japan. I know he was champion there, but I've never really seen him on that level in AEW. But that being said, I still thought. Can you hear me?
I can hear
No,
you.
no,
It
we're
just
listening.
goes
You're
low for some reason.
My what?
Your
No,
voice,
we can
like the
hear
audio
you.
just got low for some reason. Like it's
I don't
going.
know. I tried turning off noise suppression and stuff.
You good?
I think it's when you turn
Yeah.
your face away from the mic. Is your mic right in
I'm
front of
staring
you?
right at the mic.
Oh, okay,
My
okay.
mic's, yeah, I'm like I'm trying to talk at the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying he never really clicked for me. But that being said, I did think they had a great match. I thought Hangman and Jay White. This was probably one of the best Jay White matches I've seen because they actually told a story. They were selling body parts and they were working on the body parts and telling a story throughout the match that played into the finish. And I thought it was really, really like obviously Hangman has had incredible matches in AEW. This was by far not his best match. But for Jay White, to me, this was his best singles match in AEW. And I actually thought this match did really elevate his stock. And to me, I came out of this thinking that Jay White's a bigger star than he was going into this. Because for me, I've not been sold on Jay White to this point at all. So I thought this was actually really important for Jay White. Whereas Hangman to me right now is Teflon. I mean, I'm excited to see him come out. I was excited to see him come out in that
Mr.
last
Dub.
angle, even though he lost. So am I going quiet?
That's what it is. Your mic's not in front of you. Because it is when you
It's
turn your
right here.
head, it goes out, and then
Oh.
that's what it is. But yeah,
I will stare at the microphone the whole time.
Boom, down crispy.
He
Unless you-
bringing the boom.
Yeah, no, that's what we're not doing. But yes, I agree though, Mr. Dubs. Hangman, this wasn't his best match, and that's because Jay White was in it. I'm still not sold on Jay
Garbage.
White. I think the guy sucks personally, overrated. Get him out of here. Brian, that's your boy. How'd you feel about the match?
Jay White, nah, bro, he ain't overrated at all, bro. If anything, he's underrated at the moment. The way he's getting slandered, if you feel what I'm saying, Jay White, bro, Jay White right now, bro, is just one of those things where he's just trying to find his spot, bro. I feel like Tony Khan did not do him a favor by overbooking MJF into an injury and then MJF coming back and beating him in that match. So that really cooked my man's, bro, because that was a horrible thing, especially if you had plans for Jay White to be in the main event, and it seems like Tony Khan does that to a lot of people, man. We can go on ahead and get into it very soon because I do have an agenda to go on ahead and push here.
Agenda, and I want to address the misinformation before Brian starts spewing it. You know, there's a talking point out there that, oh, Jay White would have done so much better if he had chosen WWE. But
no, that's not my agenda at all.
No, that's the agenda. Okay, what is your agenda?
Who thinks he?
I want to hear the agenda. What's the agenda?
No, we're gonna save that for tomorrow. Relax. We're gonna get in the video on that.
I want to talk about it.
But who thinks Jay White would have been better in WWE? Like, why do we think that?
No, I never said that. That's Omer just chatting. I never said that.
Okay.
I never said
because
that.
I personally just never thought he was that great. I never thought he lived up to the hype personally. This match to me though was the best. I thought his best match he had in AEW. I thought the selling of the body parts was great. I just really liked the story they told during the match, and I thought it really made him finally feel like a star. Not a world title level star, but to me, he's in the upper echelon of mix. I don't see him taking the title away from Moxley. I don't see him there yet, or even close to there yet. But I definitely see him at least now more than like your Collision mid-card guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was carrying Collision for a minute. He was at the top of the card over there. Injuries,
carrying it right down to 250,000 people watching. Yeah,
he was carrying though, bro. Hold on,
he sure was.
Let's not, hey, bro,
bro.
No, bro, stop it, bro. Jay White was putting on amazing matches in Collision.
He was
amazing matches.
I guess that's why I'm not behind him, because I didn't watch.
Let's be real here, guys. Let's be real here. Y'all want to know something wild about Jay White? Because there's not many people in AEW who can say they've done this. Kenny, can you name me a wrestler in AEW who main evented Madison Square Garden on a pay-per-view?
No. Get that WWE building out your brain. This is AEW.
No, but who did it? It was Jay White. Jay White main evented Madison Square Garden.
Against who? Like, I don't even remember when they went to MSG.
That was
that for?
That was a Ring of Honor thing in 2019. Like,
that's WWE accomplishment.
What relevance does that have?
No relevance.
If y'all let me finish talking.
Sorry.
No. But he's a guy who like has always been trusted, especially when he was in New Japan, to be like a main event level guy. He's always been trusted to what?
He was.
He is. He still is. And that's what Tony Khan is trying to get back to. Because Jay White has all the tools you would want in a guy who like can be like in that main event tier. Like, that's just the truth. And like what he proved, like I think this past week was like at the end. Like, you watch the end, like that's like pure Jay White right there. Like that reversal of a buckshot into Jay White's finisher. That was like exactly what it needed to be, because it showed that Jay White, like at any point in the match, can pull out that victory. And you know, like, it has not been perfect in AEW. In fact, last year, a lot of times outside of that feud that he and Juice Robinson had with FTR, it was poopy. As I am not allowed to curse on the stream, but it was pure poopy. So like, we need to like, I think maybe like not forget everything that happened last year, because obviously we know wrestling fans, y'all never forget. But I think you also need to be open to a little bit of like the new beginnings of Jay White, because I do think they've kind of like tried to reset him after he's come back from injury, and they've done a really good job booking him. And Hangman's a guy, let's be honest, Hangman's a guy who at this point he's can lose. He can lose, and he's not going to be in that world title picture because he's not going to be the guy to take it off of Mox, right? And if he's not going to be the guy to take it off of Mox right now, then there's no point in putting him in that world title picture.
You sound absolutely crazy with that statement, Big On. Because
100%,
at all
bro.
times, you need to have wrestlers built up to be in that world heavyweight.
I can name 3 guys right now who are in line before Hangman.
Yep.
And it's a shame because Hangman is a guy who should be up there.
But
Brian,
he's not
those
a
3 guys?
babyface.
I'm curious.
He's not a babyface.
I'll put Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay has not won a match since July.
What?
Kenneth.
On all the pay-per-views, I'm saying. When was the last time Will Ospreay won on pay-per-view?
He just won it.
What he's saying is he lost 2 pay-per-view matches in a row. That's what he's saying.
Beat MJF in August. What are you talking about?
He lost his last 2 pay-per-view matches.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Kenneth,
why is he in line to be a
because
world
he's the most over guy in the company right now.
He is the most over guy.
That's not true.
Yes,
Who's the most over guy in the company, Kenny?
Jonathan Moxley.
No, I'm sorry. Will Ospreay is more over than Mox.
Yes,
100%.
There is.
Will Ospreay having better matches.
Moxley's a heel, so he's the top heel in the company.
When you talk about,
but Will Ospreay's a top babyface in the company, and you want your top babyface to go against your top heel. Kyle Fletcher, you can't throw in against Moxley because he's a heel.
I'm taking Will Ospreay right now is the most over guy the company has. 100%. Heel face, I don't care what it is, 100%. You're putting Will Ospreay there, and he's at the top of the mountain right now in AEW.
I don't think I agree. You know what? I think I would say Swerve Strickland is more over than Will Ospreay.
Okay, Bobby Lashley just took that from him. So again, you're not going to throw Bobby Lashley in there.
I'm talking about the crowd going crazy throughout his whole match.
I like.
Of course. Swerve's over.
We hurt
the Hurt Syndicate, baby.
We hurt people.
Yeah. I think this is the best gimmick they have going.
All right.
I love the Hurt Syndicate. I'm loving it.
So listen, bro. All right. Can we get into the debut of this man, or the real debut? Because I don't want to talk about Cheeseburger. I don't care.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That is what Kenny and I don't care about.
I love it. Shout out to Cheeseburger. Open and bright. Come on.
Listen, bro.
I was happy to see Cheeseburger get a payday. I really was, because I remember watching him on old like Tokyo Dome cards, and just getting to see him in AEW. I thought that was gret. It brought back memories.
100%. So, guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The Hurt Syndicate. Obviously, the channel, or a portion of the audience feels a way about me when I speak about these guys. So,
are you pro or against?
I'm against MVP. I just want to put that out there.
Okay. Okay, that's
what the audience says.
I mean,
you think Brian's
not?
I don't know. For me, I think they're the best act AEW has going right now.
They're gonna hear Kenny call me racist, and then they're gonna think it's okay to call me
racist.
That's
what the audience said. I didn't say you were racist.
Hey man, you got another thing coming.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, man. All right. So we saw what this could look like, especially in a, this was 2 stars. Swerve Strickland and was huge.
My bad.
And at this point, bro, so we saw what it was, and I think that it can be very good. The theme song is catchy as hell. They already got people doing it everywhere, which I think that's huge for them. And they had people going for the chants in the middle of the match, including myself. I mean, the We Hurt People chants was just funny, bro.
Had me dying.
It was a win all around, and I like what they're doing with this tag team. Now we got to see what they're gonna continue doing, bro. I don't got no negative comments to say of Full Gear about the Hurt Syndicate. I was actually very impressed. If this is the type of product that they're going to be putting out there, I'm 100% cool with it. And at the end of the day, bro, I told y'all this before. With the whole MVP situation, if you're going to keep talking, they got to back it up every time that they go out there. As long as they continue doing that, it is what it is, bro. They can talk whatever they want, and that's what it is. I've always said it. If y'all going to talk, if MVP going to talk this much, you know what it is? It's just what it is, bro. And another thing that we're going to get in here and talk about, because I'm getting messy, IWC getting crazy with that fight for reporter.
Whoa, bro, let's talk about the match first.
Let's talk about the look. Shout out to Kate.
I'm going to say, yes, I agree with you, Brian. Now, Hurt Syndicate, I felt like in WWE, they were kind of, it's just a group. But I feel like in AEW they have been a presence. We hurt people. Those chants, like that, the theme music is great. I think they messed up because they played Bobby Lashley's theme at the end when they should have played that Hurt Syndicate theme to get people going again. But man, you had people Swerve's house. You had people we hurt people. I think it was electric in that building, and that's what they really need. So this was a great match. I think the right person won. Swerve Strickland can recover from this. I don't think he's hurt at all. I wouldn't mind if they put Swerve Strickland in the Hurt Syndicate. They got so many possibilities, so many options they can do
Let's
here.
not do that, bro. You're gonna
I don't want to see
No,
Swerve in
Kenny-
there. I
no,
don't want
Kenny
him
might be
being a
cooking
second
here.
to Bobby Lashley. I don't
Kenny
want
might
to
be
see
cooking here.
That's
I wanna
not
see-
cooking,
first.
bro. Why
No,
would
no, no, no.
Nobody
secondary
has
to Bobby?
a second.
He
Nah,
would be
here's
secondary to Bobby.
Go ahead,
I'm
Big
really upset that because the Ricochet, the Takeshita and Ricochet match.
Oh, we were
I
talking about it,
thought-
Mr. Dubs.
No, but
We're
I'm
gonna
saying
talk
I
about
thought the
that.
Hurt Syndicate was going to play into that, and I was really disappointed that
I
the finish
see.
wasn't having to do where you had
They
at
hurt
least
feelings.
a segment. I wanted to see at least a segment where Ricochet was in the back. MVP was like, could have gone differently for you. Just something like that. Just something showing me that there's a direction for Ricochet going forward, and they're evolving his storyline. This was just, I was sad because Bobby Lashley looked incredible. That spear through the guardrail looked brutal. I thought the match was exactly what it needed to be. But I don't want to see, if anyone's joining the Hurt Syndicate, I think Ricochet needs it. I don't want Swerve anywhere near it. I don't mind him feuding with him, but I don't want him being a part of it.
Good cooks, Mr. Dubs. Big on.
I mean, everything's basically been said at this point. I mean, Hurt Syndicate over as all hell. They had me chanting. We hurried people. Had me dying.
White people.
I think I got like a 6-pack. Just
I was
in
listening
the
to
middle
that
of
song on a
match.
plane, by the way.
What's up?
Me
I was
too.
listening to that song on a plane.
Me
No,
too.
it's a catchy
That's
song. I
funny.
was doing during work today. Like, it's crazy. Someone mentioned it in the chat, and I think it's worth calling out. Like, one thing you didn't see Bobby Lashley a lot of, kind of, because in WWE he kind of relied on MVP to do a lot of the character quote unquote work, and like he was out there hurting people, but in this match you saw like a different Bobby Lashley. It kind of reminded me of like his TNA stuff where he would play to the crowd a little bit more, you know, like Bobby was like he was trying to get people up, trying to get people in, something he doesn't like. We're not used to him traditionally doing. And I thought that was like a nice wrinkle of him. And I think it could be a sign of like, you know, Bobby Lashley, you know, unleashed like a little bit. I think it was a very good match. And it was exactly the result that needed to happen. Swerve, like Hangman, is one of those guys where at this point, like, he's coming off of a hot run. He can lose a match or two here to help establish, especially a guy like Bobby, who I think, and I have to think, that eventually you are going to have a young guy join the Hurt Syndicate. And it is going to be like one of like MVP's maybe pet projects, who at the end of the day is going to be put over by Bobby Lashley, a former multiple-time world champion. Then there's multiple people you could put in there. I think like, you know, like obviously like the roster is massive, but that has to be like the result. That has to be it. And like, look, he mentioned it. Some
Of course,
Batista stuff.
that beautiful young up-and-comer, that young kickstart of the young ripe old age of 36. Ricochet is my man. He's that young upstart that you're hoping for. This man's got potential.
No, listen, man.
Ricochet is
I'm-
fried.
Man, listen,
DOA.
man.
That's what I'm saying. He shouldn't be, though. He
I will
Well,
say it
we're going to
again.
talk about
Ricochet-
Ricochet, ladies and
Hold on.
gentlemen.
No.
But before we get into that, fellas, go ahead, Omar. Go ahead and finish.
Man, baby. Look, I just want to say it, man. Look, as far as Ricochet goes, my man said he's going to carry a company. And I 100% absolutely.
He had the worst match on the card, by the way.
Ruined my punchline.
That wasn't the worst match.
It's okay.
All right, well, let's do this. Big shouts out to everybody in the chat. We love y'all to death. We not asking y'all for no super chats, but we will ask y'all to do is please drop a like on this video. Let your fingers get monetary in that way. It's free. It's absolutely free, and it helps us out quite a bit. But Brian,
Yeah.
after the show, we all know we got media scrums to go do, right?
100%.
I think Bobby Lashley came in there with some energy. Like he came there and he was like, you know what? I had the championship in WWE, TNA, and like he was like beating his fingers on the table, and it just looked like an intimidating boss. Like, you know what I want? I don't know if y'all noticed that. Did y'all see what he was doing? Like how he was beating his fingers on the table? I thought
I didn't see the press conference.
It was a little
very
tech, yeah.
swag.
They got to throw it on him eventually.
I'll throw it at him. But Brian, you had what did that lady from Fightful say?
All right, man. So she basically, do you have the direct quote, Omer?
I don't have the direct quote, but Kate Elizabeth from Fightful had essentially asked like the Hurt Business a question about like representation and like what it means to have faced like the first Black world champion in AEW history, which by the way was something that like many people just Swerve and even like Zay and Mark Quinn at the press conference later that same night had talked about representation and had really like made that like a part of the both the on-screen story and also obviously the backstage and news surrounding like their reigns. And Bobby Lashley took the opportunity to look over to MVP and say, "I got this," saying he wanted to answer. And he essentially said that he does not view like Swerve as like the first Black AEW World Champion. He does not like those labels. He does not want those labels put on people, and he believes that wrestling has evolved past that. And there's not just Black World Champions. There's World Champions. He doesn't view it, in those terms. Obviously, I think like different people have different experiences, and like that's the perspective that's happening. People crashed out on my girl Kate. I just want to say it out there. Kate, in my opinion, did not ask an unfair question or an offensive question. It was something that has been hinted towards by multiple wrestlers. I think Bobby Lashley just shared his perspective, and people are using it as an opportunity to crash out. And whether or not you agree with Bobby Lashley, like I believe Bobby is completely entitled to his opinion and his perspective, and it is valid. But at the same time, I think a lot of the hate you see online for this is just overblown and people taking shots because they see an opportunity and people are just visceral online. But Kenny Baum, I know you got thoughts on this. I want to hear from you.
Yes. So I don't think the question she asked was offensive. I think the question she asked was very necessary, because what was more necessary was the answer Bobby Lashley gave her. Because every time somebody Black wins it, like, how do you feel being Black and winning this? Like, bro, I'm just a person, just like this white person who just won it. Now, I think the conversation was necessary with Swerve Strickland, obviously, because he was the first Black champion. But I mean, after you have the first Black champion, now we got Black champions. Like, if somebody wins the championship in WWE and they're Black, you're not going to point it out anymore because Kofi already did it. Bobby Lashley already did it. There was Big E already did it. So now it's just a normal thing. It's not the first anymore. Swerve Strickland was the first. Now it's normalized, just like he said. Right now, Private Party, they're Black. They're the tag team champions. They're not Black tag team champions. They're just the tag team champions. Let's get over saying the first Black this and that. I think it was a mistake when Swerve Strickland went in the ring and said, I want to be the first Black AEW champion. Like, no, bro, just say you want to be the AEW champion and let the people talk about it. But now I think with Bobby Lashley answering in that way, the conversation is over. Leave it alone. Now a Black person is just the champion, not a Black champion. So I loved it. It was all, that whole interaction was necessary.
Fair.
Just Brian, what do you got to say about this?
Well, I 100% agree with Bobby Lashley. If you go back into one of the videos, I said this. I said, why does it have to be a Black champion? Why can't it just be normal? Why can't it not just be normalized? A champion is a champion, no matter the color, and that's the way that it should be. And that is just a problem that that's been around for a while, and I guess it's just continuing to be highlighted by multiple wrestlers, and one wrestler specifically who was asked a question at the press conference, who was MVP. Now, the reason why I'm not mad at her question, and I don't see why she's getting, thrown all this shade on social media, is simply because the person that she asked the question to is the person who's been pushing the agenda of Black wrestlers not being pushed. And that's just what it is. I thought it was a valid.
Bobby Lashley never pushed that.
I'm talking about MVP. She asked MVP the question, and Bobby Lashley said, "Oh, I got it."
Okay.
So Bobby Lashley just answered for MVP. But my point is that she asked the question to a person who's certainly felt a way about how Black wrestlers are being pushed. And again, he's completely entitled to his opinion. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just, that's just his opinion. But she asked the question of him. And that's just what it was. And people went and took it and spun it in 8,000 different ways. And I just thought it was unfair because I felt like the question was completely justified based on what we've seen on the internet, podcast, the way MVP has felt in the past, and that's just what it is. I just again, I don't think Bobby Lashley was wrong here. I think he's completely right, but I also am not gonna say she's wrong for that question because I thought the question was completely justified.
Yeah, I don't think she was wrong for the question, but I love your point right there because MVP has been bringing up that conversation. So it absolutely makes sense for her to ask him that question. So I see what you're saying. Mr. D.
I mean, I didn't watch the press conference. I was completely unaware that this was a thing and someone was getting heat for it. But Bobby Lashley's answer sounds completely normal to me. Like, I don't think anyone, well, I mean, I've never cared about what race or ethnicity or religious beliefs or background or anything any wrestler is. It's a scripted TV show. You know what I mean? Like, the best character is going to get the part. You know, like if you have a hot act, you go with it. Like when the Acclaimed, Tony Khan realized he screwed up with them. I'm not talking about tonight. I'm talking about the first time they won the titles. They had to do that match back because they were like, oh, look at this reaction. But you go with whoever's the best, role for the position. The fact that Swerve was the first black champion, that's because AEW is a new company. WWE is not a new company. It took them forever to get to that point, which is sad as it is, but that was over 20 years ago. So I get that they're a new company, and that's why it's a talking point. I just don't think in 2024 it really needs to be a talking point at all. Like, has there been an Asian WWE champion before? Like, I know Shinsuke's won the NXT title, but is that going to be a big deal if he does or someone else? Or say Takeshita wins the AEW world title, because that will happen at some point.
I hope
or
so.
Okada even. Are they going to make a huge deal out of that? Because I don't see why it should be a big deal. It's just if they're hot at the time, you go with the hot act.
Yeah,
I just got
you made a great point there too. I think we definitely do need an Asian champion, and Takeshi's that guy. One day down the line, like there's never been an Asian champion, and everybody kind of focuses on the first black champion. What about the first Mexican champion, the first Asian champion? Like we gotta, if we're gonna do diversity, let's do it up. But you gotta have the guy, like you said. They got to be worthy of that spot to get it, and I think Takeshita is the guy for them. Biggest.
100%.
I'll just say this. I think like I said before, it's one of those things where representation and like how that should be like put out there like is different to everyone, right? Like it's like some people like give the Triple H answer of like, oh, I don't see color. Some people say like we're kind of past that point, which is fine, and then there's like others who like probably view things a little bit more of like it is like a big thing because for a very long time, like people of color, women, we're not given a seat at the table in these booking decisions and not represented in these booking decisions at all. And that like takes like a lot of systematic time and change to like, adjust and transform, right? It's not going to happen overnight. But what I will say is I think the evidence that like, that was not just a fair question, but I think a good question was that like we're having this conversation right now, right? Like, and like personally, like, there's some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't agree with. And like likewise, right? Like that's like the point of like journalism. That's the point of like asking like good questions at these media scrums. So shout out to Kate Elizabeth from Fightful. Like
and shout out to Bobby for the fantastic answer. But Big Om, the next thing we need to talk about, you're the only person who can drive this on. I don't know if Mr. Dubs can, but boom, chocolate game.
All right.
I don't get it. Y'all, the
arena AEW pre-show.
Crazy.
Let me talk to you, all right? If you thought Kenny Baum was driving this, you got another thing coming. Because on the AEW pre-show, we witnessed the greatest moment in professional wrestling history as Big Boom, AJ, Big Justice, and the Rizzler made their AEW debuts against QT Marshall, who was bringing the doom, but he got delivered the boom in one of the best pre-show things we've ever seen. I put this right up there with WWE Extreme Rules 2014. We LC Hornswoggle versus El Torito. Amazing pre-show stuff here, guys. This broke the internet, literally like millions upon millions of views. It was coming out of AEW Full Gear, the thing that more people were talking about than anything else. And it was one of AEW's most successful experiments. They had never done this type of thing. Of course, Big Boom AJ, for those of you who don't know, big superstar celebrity right now because of the Costco meme. If you don't know it, you don't know it. I don't know how to explain it to you. It brings the boom. Google it, kids. But guys, they brought in these influencers. Big Boom AJ had been a professional wrestler over 20 years ago, but he finally got in the ring. And I know Kenny Baum had absolutely no idea what was happening until he got there. Kenny, take me through your reaction seeing what happened in the ring and hearing what happened around you.
He had no reaction.
I'll tell y'all right now. So usually we go to quite a bit of AEW shows. We fly out, we make the towns, and we usually miss the pre-show a lot of times. But this time, the biggest
That's what I didn't do.
like, we gotta go see Big AJ and what's the Rizzler? And I was like, all right, whatever, bro. So I'm sitting here chilling, and the arena just goes crazy out of nowhere when they announced this Rizzler kid. I'm like, what the? Everybody's going crazy, doing the little face thing. Big Justice and AJ comes out, and I'm just like, I don't get it, bro. And you know what? I'm fine. These people are having a great time. They're excited. I don't know what's going on, but let the people have it. To this day, I still don't get it. But hey, and they said it's like the third most viewed wrestling video on Twitter right now.
It moved up. It moved up to number 2. All upper the bro. It's going crazy. Like the Mr. Dubs, I'm gonna get you in here in just a second, but Kenny, like it's one of those things, man. If you don't know it, like I don't know how to explain it to you, but it's like it literally is like the probably one of the more famous like ongoing memes like online today. And AEW was not only able to get in on it while it's hot, but also turn it into something that I think is going to have a little bit of a shelf life because it was announced. I want to get your thoughts on this. Big Boom AJ is all elite. So we're going to see AJ and the Rizzler. And look, if this is a thing where, like, every other pre-show or something, like they have a match, I'm totally fine with that. You know why, Kenny? Because it's going to get more people in the seats during the pre-show. And it's going to be a million times better than whatever else they're going to put in that pre-show. Like, let's be honest. It's going to get more reaction. Tell me I'm lying, Kenny. Tell me I'm lying.
No, I mean, bro, I saw it. I saw it firsthand. I mean, I don't get it. But like you say, you don't have to get everything. It worked for them. I mean, look at the Twitter views. Shouts out to Tony Khan. I mean, fingers on the pulse. Obviously,
the Rizzler moved 3,000 tickets in a week. It's crazy.
The Rizzler did not move those tickets. I'll say that.
100p. Anyway, Mr. Dubs. Thoughts on Big Boom, AJ?
I mean, Omer, you've sold me on it. I didn't have any interest in watching it. I have not watched it. I've heard zero about it on social media. This is the biggest thing in wrestling, and it's not in my timelines. So I have not seen this.
I wish I was you, Mr.
I literally am completely blind. This caught me out of left field. Like, you're selling this like this was the return of CM Punk. And I'm like, I've heard nothing about it. I think I might have skipped it in my YouTube feeds of things. I'm like, oh yeah, that was that thing on the pre-show. Great, QT Marshall had a match. Good for him. Like some YouTube celebrity. Like, I have no idea who this person is. I did not know it was such a big deal. I'm happy AEW's they're capitalizing on an audience that they've already got me. I already watched. So if this is bringing them a new audience, fantastic. Makes no difference to me, but I will definitely seek it out now because you sold it like it's, the second coming of the WLC matches, I think you said.
It is genuinely one of the greatest pre-show matches of all time.
Awesome. I think Mr. I will definitely check it out then.
I think you'll have to get familiar with their family or whatever's going on because I watched the match and I was like, bro, what is going on here?
Just watch the promo. They have a promo package.
What are these people? They're just famous for a meme or are they YouTube personalities? So they are social media people. Like it's not just they had a meme like the Hawk Tua girl or something.
Yeah, yes. They were. Well, they're a more ongoing and family friendly meme than that.
Get on that thing.
But they were on.
That's what this is. Okay.
They were on Jimmy Fallon. Like they are literally in the middle of like.
Yeah, Hawk Tua's been doing a world tour of everything. So
yeah, but
is it just like a popular meme person?
Yeah, but
that's what it is. Exactly what it is, Mr.
The thing is, and what makes this like a bigger deal, I think, than even like the Hawk Tua girl is you gotta spit on that thing, really, Kenny. But like the thing that makes
destroyed his microphone there.
Even bigger. It'd be like that. This mic's been through way worse. But the bigger thing than that is like they got like these guys in here at their height. Like literally, they were on Fallon just like 2 weeks ago on the Tonight Show.
Perfect.
It was a major deal, and like the experiment at the end of the day worked. And like I'm telling you this, I know that there are people out there who's like, I don't like them. I'm a pro wrestling purist, whatever, man. At the end of the day, AEW needs as much exposure as humanly possible at this point. WWE has so much of the market share, and let's be honest, they're not going to have access to the Metro Boomins of the world and all that kind of stuff.
I have two questions for you then.
Go for it.
Greater, like bigger or less than David Arquette winning the WCW title? Like, is this going to be more mainstream? Is this going to get more coverage?
No, it ain't gonna get that. That'll be
more or less than David Arquette winning the World WCW
Hold
title.
up, wait.
I'm saying just as far as mainstream attention.
He was a wrestler though, so it's better than David Arquette.
This is definitely.
No, I'm not saying it's like, is this a better angle? I'm saying, is this going to get more mainstream attention? Because this isn't for the wrestling. It's for
this is already
getting the name out there. You said
already got
on
more
Fallon and
attention.
stuff.
Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Is this bigger than
outlets who don't
Arquette
write
winning
about
the WCW
AEW
title?
are writing about them like on top of everyone else, millions upon millions of shares on social media. Like, this is like,
that's what I'm saying. Is it getting outside the wrestling bubble more than Arquette winning the WCW title?
Yes, it is genuinely one of the most popular wrestling things of the year.
Second question: is it bigger than Tyson pushing Austin and getting that whole blow up?
Hell no. As far as impact,
so we're in between Arquette and Tyson. Okay, gotcha.
I don't like these.
I just try to get a gauge
because like we're comparing Austin to Arquette. Like
no. But again, But I'm saying, like, as far as WWF was behind the 8 ball when they shot that angle, and that's what catapulted them to the next level because of all the outside of wrestling hype that it covered. You're getting on the New York Times, whereas David Arquette winning still was big publicity-wise outside of the wrestling bubble. So I just wanted to gauge for that range.
I would say not discounting Impact, because Impact is way different. Just
of course.
Pure views and reach. This is in between those two for sure.
Okay, perfect.
Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. How is Will Ospreay going out pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view, putting on match of the year after match of the year after match of the year? Is just insane to me. Now, this was the match where we had a crazy moment, y'all. Me and Big On watching this match going crazy, like, oh my goodness, Will Ospreay is out here putting on a clinic. The crowd's going crazy. The crowd starts chanting AEW. I start chanting AEW. Big On starts chanting AEW. We look over at our WWE representative. He's recording with his phone, chanting AEW. I'm like, what? Brian chanting AEW? Absolutely insane. Brian, how did you feel about this match?
Which match was this one again? I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher.
Oh yeah, I thought we talked about this already. Nah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. The tombstone spot onto the steel steps, that's probably the greatest spot I've ever seen live, bro.
I lost it. I was genuinely concerned that, like, I was genuinely concerned.
Bro, bro, my mouth was wide open. Pause on that, if you feel what I'm saying. And no offense to anybody out there, but yeah, bro, just a crazy one. Kenny, what are you doing? What are you doing, Kenny?
Huh? I was wiping something off my mic. I had Hawk Tuda spit on that thing earlier, so I had to wipe it off.
All right, bro. On to the next person, bro.
What do you mean? No. We're not done here, man. Okay, no. Because earlier you're talking about Will Ospreay. Brian, during this match, you were chanting AEW. You were all in. You were all elite, basically. Your WWE representation went out the window.
Well, Ospreay's my guy.
Well, Ospreay's your guy. Why is Ospreay your guy? What about Ospreay right now makes you feel like you can abandon your WWE banner and you're staying with WWE stance?
No, I still stand. I just was a temporary visitor. I still stand with WWE.
Okay, so you had the visitors pass. You had to sign in.
I still stand with WWE, but like all jokes aside, like Will Ospreay's ability to cut promos and wrestle the way he does, bro, that's enough for me to captivate me, bro. As a fan, I wish WWE was able to get their hands on Will Ospreay. Unfortunately, he ran away from the grind, but
untrue.
It's great to see. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's all it is.
Should be happy the man got the bag and he's got set himself up with his family for a while now.
That too, you know what I'm saying? But he ran from the grind.
What grind? What grind do you run from?
Live shows, live events. Kenny, you tell him, my boy, he ran from the grind.
He ran from the grind because listen.
Hey, bro, let's not do that, Kenny, because you've agreed with me before.
Well, and I said that because he would do a pay-per-view match and then take 2 weeks off of Dynamite because he needed a break.
Bro, and all jokes aside, I'm just trolling. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? As long as they getting paid.
He's doing
I
that
don't-
because he's
I
a
don't
fan
care.
now.
But I'm
Not
saying,
at all.
what I'm saying is this: if Will Ospreay was in WWE, he would not be having the matches that he's having right now. For one, because the wrestlers in AEW are better in the ring. For two, WWE they'd like restrict his style. 3 moves for Will Ospreay, and that's it.
Well, look how different AJ Styles was when he came to WWE from where he was in New Japan.
Mhm.
In New Japan, his match with Shinsuke Nakamura was match of the year or one of, and then when they did it at WrestleMania, it was not the same. It was not the
Bro,
same.
that match was cheeks. I've never been more disappointed in a wrestling match than I was with Nakamura AJ Styles. I
Same.
hate Vince McMahon. I hate Vince McMahon.
I hated what they did. I was like, just literally move for move, recreate the Tokyo Dome match, and I'm happy.
Dude,
That's fine.
There's like no way. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but there's like very little ways they could have messed it up, and they did it like the exact wrong thing in that match.
I was so behind Shinsuke too. I was wanting him
Nakamura.
to win the title. I was so excited for Shinsuke, and they just, anyways, off topic. But Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay was absolutely incredible. Maybe not Ospreay's best match in the company. Well, definitely not Ospreay's best match in the company.
It was up there,
But
though.
by far, Kyle Fletcher's best match he's ever had in the company. And I think they made the right call. I went into that match before it started thinking, you really need to give this to Kyle Fletcher. Like, I hope they have Kyle Fletcher win, because Ospreay can take the loss, and he's been largely protected as far as losses go. So it still means something when you beat him, but it's not going to do anything to him beating him. So for me, it's all up to AEW to capitalize. This is your moment to turn Fletcher into a star. So we'll see how it plays out, but I definitely think they made the right move in going with Fletcher in this match. I just really hope that they don't fumble the booking moving forward. I really hope they capitalize on it and make him a big deal.
I agree with you, Mr. Dubs, but I gotta say this. When I went to that arena, like Kyle Fletcher, I don't know what it was. I did not know, but that is a big dude. He is a big man, and he's only 25 years old. That is insane. Definitely the future of pro wrestling, the future of AEW. He's going to be a future champion for sure. I mean, I think he has to figure his hair out, because the baldy isn't it. But when he puts all of those pieces together with his promo, his look, and everything else, I think he's going to surpass Will Ospreay. Because
I loved his hair before he shaved it.
What'd you say?
For his look, I loved the way his hair was before he shaved it. I was like, you had a good look. No, but it was different. I didn't think he looked like Will Ospreay with that haircut. I
thought he just looked just
Really?
like him. I think that
Everyone,
was
no,
problem.
that's quite literally why he explained on TV. He was like,
Yeah.
everyone says I look like Ospreay, so whoop.
Okay.
I do think,
I think it was
I
very
thought he was cool.
necessary.
Yeah,
I think
fair enough.
he's growing it back though without the roots.
Yeah.
So like I think he's gonna do something with it eventually.
Yeah.
I do want to go on ahead and answer a question the chat asked. Somebody asked, Brian, who do you start your company around, Ospreay or Cody? 100% Cody Rhodes, because of the vision he has for the business. So
That's what we not doing. Well, Ospreay.
That-
Wait,
that's what I am
they
doing.
already started a company with Cody Rhodes with his vision,
And he's gonna
it
leave
turned
that company
into
in like 2 years,
what was
Brian.
that boxer? What was the boxer guy that he had a feud with that never wrestled again
Anthony
in AEW?
Ogogo.
Anthony, look, he
Anthony
had one match
Ogogo.
on Collision after that. How dare
That's
you?
the guy you want to build your company around. A guy
Cody-
who thought Anthony
Cody
Ogogo was the next
Rhodes,
big thing.
part of what AEW was thriving back in the day, bro. What you talking about? When Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes
but
was in
Cody
the company,
Rhodes
it
was in the
thriving.
Codyverse, and everybody was talking about how he went from superstar to what is this?
I'm gonna say it, Brian. I don't know what AEW we're watching. Cody had very little to do with AEW.
Yeah,
at
that's
his
what
peak.
you. That's what you.
Cody
think, bro.
Rhodes.
No,
I think Cody Rhodes was the
like,
best
what
Cody
storyline
Rhodes
was he
ever in
Outside of
AEW.
outside
Yeah.
of the
Early on.
I'm
Early
gonna be
on.
honest, bro. Yeah. Like, I know that time has passed, but how much discrediting y'all doing to him and what he did for the company
discrediting or
is
am I
it's
doing?
a little
I don't
insane.
I'm just saying his storylines were bad as the company went on. Once he booked himself into a corner, never winning that world title, because we don't want the guys in charge to be, the guys who are building our company around. We don't want them to win matches or seem like big stars to this.
They're still doing that without him.
They could have ever
They're
done.
still doing that without him. That's part of the reason why Kenny Omega should have been way bigger than he got in the United States. But
he should have come over and beaten everybody. Kenny Omega should have won that title and been champion for 2 straight
They should have
years.
done that. Cody, yes, he played a big part in that whole thing. But they should have been the guys winning the championships and establishing the company more and more.
And being like, we are the best in the world. Come prove us wrong.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh look, we're losing to the Dark Order and having 17 guys pile on us at the end of the month.
But a lot of people not gonna like this. Cody Rhodes, the loss of Cody Rhodes to AEW was more detrimental than losing CM Punk.
No,
I
CM
I
Punk.
100
I disagree.
I
CM
100
Punk
I
was-
100% stand on
I
that.
don't even like CM Punk.
100%
but
stand on
CM
that.
Punk ruined the company.
It was no,
100% stand on
no,
that.
literally. Okay,
I think it was a bigger get for WWE getting Cody Rhodes because
Yeah.
they have the star that they've been able to build out of him, and he's great.
man.
But he wasn't going anywhere in AEW at the time. He needed to leave.
There is-
CM Punk literally cost them hundreds of thousands of viewers. They completely tanked Collision as a B show. It went from another show to the B show.
Also, after Punk crashed out at the press conference, like that was really the start of the
That was the moment.
downfall of the perception of AEW. Like that.
I'm
100%.
talking about
It's how
straight
it- look,
business here.
No. I'm talking
Yeah,
about business
and it
too, bro. I'm
crushed
like, okay,
business.
I'm talking about business too, bro. Like we are talking about a time where AEW was at its hottest, right? And I will say this actually, if you want to count the effect that the rise of WWE had, like as well, like that played into it. But it wasn't just Cody who was a part of that, right? Like at the end of the day, Punk leaving, there was a direct result on impact on ratings. There was a direct impact.
I'm talking about in terms
the
of
interest-
importance, though. I'm not talking about the
What do you mean
repercussions of them leaving. Because obviously, if we talking about the repercussions, if we're talking about the repercussions of what each guy did, exactly my point. I'm not talking about the repercussions. I'm talking about in terms of what was being done for the company. Cody did more, and that's why it was
What
more
do you mean he did
detrimental
more?
to the
In what
company.
way?
Cody did not do
No,
more.
I don't know what you mean.
CM Punk brought in
Bro,
so
CM
much
Punk-
ratings
bro.
and business.
See,
I don't know what you mean.
when we're talking about vision, when we're talking about creative, when we're talking about everything else on the back end, Cody Rhodes meant more to that than CM Punk
I don't
ever did in
think so.
AEW.
Wait, what do you
You're
mean?
not getting
The
Collision
back
without
end?
CM Punk. You're
I
not
don't
getting
know.
another
And
2 hours
Collision
of
is horrible.
television.
It was a horrible
Yeah,
idea.
but it got
was
them
a
money.
horrible
Yeah,
idea.
but it gave them the bag.
No, it
Without
made
that
them
2
a
hour
lot of
extra
money.
show, they wouldn't
Collision
be
was
making the same
a
money they
god
are.
awful idea on a Saturday night.
It was
that's
not a
an awful
horrible idea. It made them money. It was a profitable
CM
thing.
Punk was
Bro, they were
CM Punk was
averaging-
worth
they were
hundreds of
averaging-
millions of dollars.
They were
to
averaging
them. Cody Rhodes was not.
700,000 viewers when it first began, and it began
They were
to
averaging
dwindle down.
They were
Even
averaging
with
500.
even
I'm sorry.
bro,
Don't
their
lie,
first
bro. Come
episode,
on.
their first
Don't lie.
episode
They
had
were averaging
700,000.
500,000.
Their first episode had about 700,
It was
800,000,
800,000
and
that
they
first
complete
episode.
exactly my point.
It's going to-
And it
it's going to
started to
crater
dwindle
after
down.
that.
The
It's
first
going to
episode was always
dwindle
going to be
down.
higher.
And it started to dwindle
Even-
down.
But
And it
even
started
with
to
CM
dwindle
Punk, they were averaging outside of that first week. They were averaging around 500,000 viewers.
Bro, and
Now it's like
we're not going to
250.
sit here and act like that's
they're
fire.
averaging 350 to 400.
Oh, is it 354? I thought it was
That's
First
more
week
than
they
that.
had
No, I might
800,000.
be thinking
Second week they
Rampage
had
numbers.
500,000.
No, Rampage
and
is
they had
150.
400,000.
So Kenny, like these whole numbers and that we're bringing up. Yes, like obviously CM Punk is a draw. I'm not taking that away. He's quite 100% the biggest draw they've ever had.
Not
But let's
really,
also
not
not sit
totally.
here and act like Collision. It was like top of the mountain. It was
We're
a
not
decent
talking
show that
about
they was
that, but
putting
Brian,
on.
when you say
Different
that, like,
feeling,
Collision
but
still
it was a
was-
horrible idea.
It was not because it made them money. It made
What
them
money was they making them averaging
I'm letting them-
400,000 viewers?
It's more than whatever's going to be in
It's
that
the TV
slot.
rights,
It's
my
not them
friend.
a deal.
TV
Like, I'm
rights.
sorry.
That's
Like,
where
you
the
know,
money is.
It's just the truth. I'm
Listen,
sorry,
man.
bro. It doesn't
the
fit
TV
your
rights.
narrative.
It's
That's
the money.
fine. I'm sorry.
Listen, bro, it ain't about fitting my narrative. I'm just letting you know what it is, bro. Many
Hey, man,
people
we got to be
agree.
like EC3.
Cody
Control that
Rhodes-
narrative.
Cody Rhodes means more to WWE,
meant more to,
but
it meant a lot more to
CM
AEW.
Punk meant more to AEW.
No, he didn't.
100%. I agree with that.
No, he didn't. I disagree 100%, wholeheartedly.
We're going to have to agree to
Cody
disagree
Rhodes
then,
wasn't
fellas.
doing anything in AEW by the end. He was putting
We're
himself
not
in
exactly
flaming
the end.
tables.
Exactly the end.
He was putting himself
The end is
through
the reason
flaming
why he
tables.
went to WWE. Let's talk about the
Exactly.
beginning.
That's what
Let's
we're
talk about the
talking
middle.
about.
Cody
Brian.
Rhodes put on some of the best matches
Yes,
during
at the
his time.
beginning.
At the
Sure.
beginning. At the
At the
beginning.
very
100%.
At the end, he
And
went to
CM
WWE.
Punk was the
rightfully
most watched thing in the world when he first debuted on Rampage.
I'm not.
He did
talking
over a
about-
million
I'm not
viewers
talking about
literally.
strictly numbers.
Rampage.
I ain't talking about strictly numbers right now, bro.
Listen, Cody Rhodes was getting booed
What
out
are
the
you talking
building.
about? I don't understand what
I'm
you're
talking
talking
before
about.
he
I'm
left,
talking.
the crowd
I'm
was
literally
like,
just
"Get him outta
explaining you,
here."
bro. The back end of the business.
Give me examples.
What's
I
CM
that?
don't
Punk
know
did
what
nothing
you're
for the
talking
back
about.
end. CM Punk did nothing for the back end. He was
Cody
sending
Rhodes
wrestlers
did
home
nothing.
in Collision. He did nothing
I
for the
don't-
back
oh
end.
my God.
What
know,
are
I
you
don't know what
talking
you're
about?
That's why
Why are
we're
you
saying
talking
it was
about-
more
you're
of
not
a
giving
it was
me
more of a
example.
loss
The
with
back
CM
end,
Punk
the
because
back
it
end, like, I'm sorry.
it
Brian,
crushed
listen,
the image of
say
the
the back
company when
end.
they had that podcast.
See,
that
Cody
press
Rhodes
conference.
made the worst decision for the back end as soon as the
Cody
company
Rhodes has
started.
never had a great match.
I
Yeah,
promise
buddy.
I
Go
will
fix your
never
eyes.
be the AEW
We didn't say he didn't have a
champion.
great match. He had
Bro,
great
I'm
matches in
talking
I'm
about-
AEW.
talking in the comment section, bro. I'm talking in the comment section. Go and fix your eyes, bro. Go and watch some matches, bro. Go
Bro,
watch
Cody
Sammy
Rhodes
Guevara
had
versus
a
Cody
great
Rhodes in a ladder
first-
match.
Second.
Go watch that.
Cody Rhodes had a great feud with Dustin. He had a great feud with MJF.
Great feud with
He
him.
had
Go watch
good
that
feuds
match
at
too,
the
by the way.
beginning. He had some great feuds for sure.
Brody Lee.
But CM Punk also had great feuds with MJF. He had
That
great,
year
he
was
had,
crazy. That year was
I-
crazy.
See,
I loved the feud with MJF and the dog collar match and everything. I thought that was some of CM Punk's
That's
best
what we
work.
don't care about. CM Punk didn't have no good feuds in AEW. He just had good injuries.
I disagree.
Ironically enough, Kenny Bomb
All he had
agrees
was
with
good
CM
injuries.
Punk when he says all his matches were wasted in AEW.
listen,
I mean,
man,
I think
he did
AEW
have a lot of
wasted
throwaway
matches on
matches.
CM Punk.
in terms of vision, bro. In terms of vision,
No,
bro,
but like I
AEW
still
wouldn't
don't
even
understand
be
the back
here.
end. What does that mean?
I'm talking about back end, bro. Creatively, I'm talking about everything. Everything.
Creatively,
Oh,
he
I
did
thought you
good
meant like
as
the
well.
Creatively,
latter
the Dark
half
Order was
of the
Cody's
state.
idea, bro.
No, I'm
Creatively,
talking
you wanna talk
about.
about it?
I'm
Let's
talking
talk
about
about it.
vision
The
wise,
Dark
bro.
Order beat
If
down
we
Beauty.
want,
Best
bro,
thing he did creatively was when he went up against Brody Lee and I guess he made the decision to dye his hair black when he needed to turn
Yeah.
into evil Cody
Yep.
Rhodes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
That was
And
great.
He
I
never
love
did it
that.
again in WWE or nothing.
know.
He never got that again.
He only had that for the 1 week. That dark hair. It was so weird. I thought like they were
But I
going
loved
down
it.
a road.
I think that was supposed to be a
and they were
thing
like,
where like, he
I
brought
loved it.
out like another like
It's
Finn
like
Balor.
Super
It was the
Saiyan
Finn
Gold.
Balor paint.
Cody
He
Rhodes,
put on
you
the
know?
Finn Balor paint.
Mm-hmm. And that was a beautiful, beautiful
but
moment.
yes, I do agree with you. MJF well overrated, 100%, bro. That full gear match was
What?
not that fire.
It was a weak
MJF?
match for MJF.
MJF has completely fallen off. He fell off from like the pinnacle a step down.
I 100% disagree. I just think
I don't
he's
think
literally
he's
been
done.
filming a movie. Like
Nah,
he
I think
didn't
he's
have
been
anything to
around.
do with this build because he's been filming a movie. He
been
hasn't
around.
been there for the last
in
month.
theaters next year.
Hey man,
Like
listen,
he's literally been gone for a month. That's why this whole storyline was what it was, where he just filmed a few segments and was like, "Here you go."
I'm not even
Here's
just
my
talking
TV
about this storyline though. I'm talking about just in general since he came back.
He not feeling it.
He's
He's
not
not as
no
hard
more.
as he was when he cut that Tony Khan is a fucking Mark promo.
Bro,
Like that was before he left. I agree. He hasn't been that hot.
I just feel like maybe that face run hurt MJF a little bit more than we thought.
It did.
It did. It
That's
did.
possible. Yeah.
It did.
I just don't feel like he got that same aura, bro. Like he's good. Don't get me wrong. People still pop for
But
him. I'm not
You
saying
can say that,
You
but
just
do you
don't,
remember? Do you remember when he was singing show tunes with Chris Jericho at the dinner debonair?
That was a great
Like
segment. I
that's
love
not
that.
a
was a
serious
great
heel.
segment.
He's got range. He's showing you he can play comedy in that. Same thing when he's buddy comedy with Adam Cole.
I think
when the feud comes for it, I think you're gonna see great MJF. But I think he's
I
got
agree,
a
Jay
range.
Barnacles.
And I think we're gonna see great MJF in the future. I don't think he's done. I just
No, I'm
don't.
not saying
But I
he's
do
done.
agree
just
with
think
you.
he's falling off.
I do agree with you. It's
but
been
again,
soft lately.
We see wrestlers fall off
100%.
all the time and come back. I mean, John Moxley was a guy who slipped down, and look at where he's at now. So
100%.
I'm not saying that he
100%.
can't come back from it. And again, many people disagree with me saying he fell off, but like personally, like I like you usually like, especially being at the events and stuff like that, you get a feeling when you see a wrestler come out like, all right, it's freaking John Moxley, it's freaking MJF. Like I just don't get that feeling with him right now, bro. And
We
that's-
didn't get it this
that's
time.
what
Well,
it is.
okay, that's fair. That's
you,
totally
you were
fair.
one. You were 1 out of 10,000 in that arena.
Okay, but that's my opinion though.
Oh, like that.
Oh, all right. I
I
got
agree with you, Brian.
Whoa.
I agree. When the MJF
I
came
love
out, it was
everybody.
just like, oh, this MJF. Like I wasn't like, oh, like you
Like,
know,
but
when,
like,
when
Kenny-
Will Ospreay came out, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Swerve
like for
trick when I'm
me,
swerving and driving.
for me, World's End
Bobby
last year.
Lashley, I'm hurting people.
For me, World's End last year, as bad as the pay-per-view was as a whole, I thought that when MJF came out, you felt that he had the package, he had everything.
Yeah, but he was in his hometown.
bro,
He said he had
even
the
I
package.
could have been anywhere, and I still would have been.
But what I'm
happy
saying
to
is
see
that
MJF.
energy is going to be
felt
way
that
different.
man.
That's like CM Punk in Chicago energy, or Brian Danielson
I don't
in
even
Washington,
know if I can
This is
compare
like
it to
he's
it.
just
It's
close
completely-
enough to,
or,
to Long
or
Island.
Danielson in Washington,
but I'm
or
not-
like it's hometown love.
What I'm saying is, bro, I've seen MJF out of his hometown. I've seen him in his hometown.
Sure.
I've had the feeling of, I'm looking forward to seeing
You're looking
MJF.
at the superstar.
I just
Brian.
didn't care.
I agree with you. MJF is what we don't care about. But before we get out of here, we got to talk about one more person who definitely showed up and showed out. Who was that, y'all? This person has been talked down since they arrived, but they came out at
Talking about
full
Ricochet?
gear and they delivered. Who was it?
Mercedes
Are you
Moné?
talking? Oh, Mercedes had the best match of her career for
She
sure.
finally
We
came
hadn't,
back,
Oh,
but
we
you
didn't,
know what?
we didn't talk about that match yet.
We cannot give all of the credit to Mercedes because Chris Statlander
Of course
has
not.
been going crazy. Pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. Where did we go? Big on that was All Out. And Will Ospreay had a crazy match with who was it?
Oh, that was
Roby
Pop.
dropped 40.
Pop.
Right.
Crazy match. And we're like, oh, they're going to put the girls in after this. They're not going to be able to deliver. Chris Statlander and Willow, they came out there and they put on a crazy match. So Chris Statlander, she's like the common factor here. She might be the one who led Mercedes into a great match. What do y'all think?
I can't disagree with that at all. I think this was by far Mercedes' best match she's had in AEW.
100%.
And what by far. And I just don't know, because I've seen other wrestlers get I don't know why she didn't have a better match with Willow, because I feel like Willow's a good hand too.
That was like,
and I was
her
really
best match of the year.
surprised. I was really surprised that they didn't have a better match. The Britt Baker match not being as great didn't surprise me at all, because Baker's been off for 2 years, right, or a year and a half. So this to me was finally what I expected to see Mercedes doing, because I always considered her the better of the bunch as far as in-ring, as far as Charlotte, as far as Becky, as far as Bayley. I always thought Mercedes was the best in-ring, maybe Bayley, but it was between Bayley and Mercedes for me. They always had the best matches together, and whoever they were with, they always showed out, and it was always great. Mercedes would often get injured in a big match with Charlotte or something. But either way, I thought she was fantastic, and I have not seen that in AEW once. So this was finally a match where I was like, all right, you had a good match. A lot of that has to do with Chris Statlander, but let's hope we get some more matches like this out of her, because there's a lot of talented girls in AEW, and there's definitely those matches do exist out there for her, and I hope she has them.
Yep. And Jay Barnacles put out a great point there. Jade Cargill had her best match with Chris Statlander. So, you know what? I've been overlooking Chris Statlander, but I think we need to give her flowers and her respect at this point. When she comes out there, she's going to deliver. Brian, what do you think about this match?
I thought the match was actually very good. It had me in after what's her finisher called? The Monet Maker or something like that? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that move when she did it and Statlander kicked out, it definitely had me, because I was not expecting her to kick out, as that finish is probably one of the most protected moves right now in wrestling. Nobody really kicks out of it. Nobody has kicked out of it till Chris did. So it's one of those things where it definitely catches you off guard. And I thought it was an amazing match. And another thing I want to point out that I was talking to Omer about during the match, I'm like, dude, like, she's incredibly strong. Like, I can't remember the last time I seen Mercedes wrestle. Like, it might have been Sasha Banks, honestly, because I went to her AEW debut when she debuted at Big Business with you guys in Boston, but I didn't see her wrestle. So this was my first time watching her wrestle in many, many years, and it completely blew me away. And it was a really good match. And she is one strong 5'4", 5'5" girl, bro, because she had Chris doing suplexes and all types of stuff. So it was definitely fun to watch. I thought that it was one of the better matches of the night for sure.
Yeah, she hit thick Statlander with those 3 amigos. So yeah, it was going crazy. Big on.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing with Mercedes is, like, if you take away the Britt Baker match, which, like, that match at All In was horrible. Like we all agree, like, it is what it is. But like her on pay-per-view, like, she does not really miss, right? Her big matches do not miss.
No, I don't know who was that at All Out.
It was Hikaru Shida, and that was a good match.
That was booty cheeks, bro. They messed up her finisher bad and cooked it.
Regardless, but even if you look at her past couple of pay-per-views, Willow Nightingale and her at AEW Double or Nothing was literally one of the matches of the year. Like an insane, like, first appearance for her that, like, even her haters were like, oh, all right, well, they kind of cooked here. Forbidden Door with Stephanie Vaquer, the match that literally got Stephanie Vaquer signed by WWE. And then she comes out here with Chris Statlander and cooks like it's nobody's business. It is, like, I understand why people are kind of down on Mercedes. They don't like her promos or like the character. And I think there's, like, a lot of criticism there for especially the character work. And, excuse me. And, like, the direction.
Don't die on us, Big On.
The direction they're taking. So I lost my voice. Like, Kenny can attest. I lost my voice at All Out or at Full
Yes,
Gear.
guys, I can attest. He don't shut up. Go ahead.
Big On was going crazy. The ladies was like, "You're very funny." I was like,
Yeah,
okay, big old
bro, and she
man.
had a man. She literally had a man.
With
when
her
she said
boyfriend,
that.
she walked by big on. Oh, and you're very funny, by the way.
Look, man, I ain't no thief.
If you can make her laugh and giggle, you can make them.
She's out of here.
Anyway,
The
Maybe
pickle,
she's a
what you
real
gonna say,
take
Brian?
wrestling fan, dude. Come on now.
hey man, look, the fans love me. Shout out to the one person who took a picture with me at Madison Square Garden earlier this year.
Oh, that's dope.
Anyway, but no, but in all
That's
seriousness,
cool.
like Mercedes, like I think Mercedes, like in the ring, like guys, like I feel it's you know what it is, guys. It's that thing with MJF, right? Where like you remember, like there was a while there with MJF where everyone was like, "Man, MJF can't wrestle. MJF sucks." Blah, whatever. But like you know, like that was a thing for a while. Like everyone was saying, like MJF can't wrestle, and then every month on a pay per view, be like, "Damn, all right, well, he proved us wrong." I feel like it's like a similar pattern with Mercedes. Might not be 1-to-1, right? But like people like talk down about Mercedes a lot, and then she has a banger match, and it's like, all right, well, it'd be like that. Like it's so weird because I feel like she's been so established as like a good wrestler for such a long time that at least that part, right, in the ring, there shouldn't be a doubt.
All right. So there's a lot of more matches on this show, of course. We had Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia's what we
Concession
don't
stands
care
for that.
about.
We didn't watch.
Shouts out
What
to
did you
Daniel.
guys? Are you guys sold on Daniel Garcia? Because I'm not.
No, I am
Yes,
not.
100%. I
I'm
love
not,
it.
bro. We went out to the concessions and we chilled for that match. I love Jack Perry. Don't get me wrong.
Really? Are you for real?
Daniel
You actually
Garcia-
left for in that match?
Yeah,
okay, to
and
be
we also
fair-
left for the Ricochet match as well.
To be fair, Mr. Dubs,
Oh,
it was we were like it got to a point where like I was like, oh my god, what match is next? And it was like Osprey, and then they were like, oh,
Banger.
Swerve. It was like we were tired.
Dude,
we were
it
tired.
was
We-
like,
I needed a
Sure.
Tony Khan needs
sure.
to do a better job at spreading out the matches for sure, because there was literally like 6 bangers, like
It's like
back to back
you
to back to
get
back
up.
to back.
I
And it's
was
like the one
crying.
time me and Kenny decided to get up and use the bathroom, Will Ospreay comes out first and Kyle
Yeah.
Fletcher comes out last. I'm like, bro, like, are you
Oh,
serious?
and that was like, and that Osprey was loud.
It was just like you love to see the quality of the pay-per-views like being that high where you don't even want to get up, but it also can be a little problem because it's like, bro, sometimes you just gotta
You
take
need
a
to
piss
wash
break,
room,
you
you
know?
need to get
People
grab
in the
something to
bathroom,
eat,
they were
grab
mad.
something to drink.
I'll
Yeah,
say this,
yeah.
man.
The
Those
people in the
W-
bathroom were mad too. They were like, bro, why would he come out first? Just give us a chance to get up.
There's like, you know what? Yeah, you know what?
Brian
You
saw the
know-
person next to him doing it up next in the urinal. I'm like, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, that brother
Dirty.
walked out without washing his hands, bro.
dirty.
And I
Dirty,
saw, and he was in there stroking, dog. Let's go, bro.
Whoa, canceling Christmas over here, Brian.
He went crazy. But yeah, $30 for some nuggets. You know, it's a wrestling show.
$30 for
They
nuggets.
were rude over
No, it
there.
was a burger. We got a burger. Brian got some pickles and everything. on his.
$30.
Nah,
$30 for a combo.
here's my problem.
30 bucks
Prudential
for a
Center, bro.
pickle.
Prudential
Hit 'em.
Center, Prudential Center workers are. I'm not gonna highlight them all because the lady next to that other lady was nice. I walked up to the lady. I said, "Can I have a burger?
Yeah.
Just take the pickles off." She said, "It's pre-made." I said, "Okay, I'll take them off myself." Then she said, "It'll be 8 to 9 minutes. They're actually being made right now." I said, "Okay, can you take the pickles off?" The lady walks by behind her and she goes, "Yes, you can actually do that." And she said, "I know I can, but I don't want to do it." My burger cost $20, bro, plus the drink $9. So that's $30 for drink and food. And I can't have my food how I want it. So Prudential Center, this is not the first time I've had an issue with the Prudential Center. The last time I
Okay.
took my little brother there, the lady literally said, "Oh, you're gonna have to tip me." Like, there's a lot of stuff going on over there, bro, that I ain't rocking with. And I will call corporate if it happens a third time.
Is that where we were?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
When the lady
same
said,
one.
you gotta tip me?
Same actually.
I think
Nah.
was
That was Mania. That was Mania.
Oh, okay.
But that
Yeah.
was wild too. She said, "Oh, you're gonna have to."
Yeah,
she
I'm
said,
like,
"You're gonna have to throw the tip in there." Kenny said, "The tip in that food, bro."
Exactly. Y'all charging me $50 for this. The tip is in there. That's your tip. That don't come to me. That goes to I'm like, all right, you gotta relax.
She started tweaking on Kenny, but regardless, it's just been a couple of experiences in the Northeast where we have these issues, bro. Where
I didn't tell y'all to
people
work
just
here.
tweaking.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, man. I mean,
And
it's
$30
just-
for a burger and fries? Like, are you kidding me?
Bro,
and
bro,
and
no,
I
no,
literally
no, no.
said the crazy part was that I was like, I should not even said this because she ain't deserve it. But I said, bro, if you tell them to remove the pickles, I'll literally tip you. Like, I just want my burger without pickles.
Oh,
She
yeah.
said, if it's not cash, I don't want it.
She was crashing out for real.
She was crashing
For
out.
no
dog.
reason. Like he didn't even do anything.
I didn't say. I said, "How you doing, man?" When I walked up, bro.
Brian was probably. I ain't gonna lie. Brian was probably the most normal person, like ordering at that like window and that like in the line that we were in. It was crazy.
I'm like, bro, I get that you annoyed, but at the end of the day, it's your job, and that's just what it is, bro. But you know what I'm saying?
That's so crazy to me.
That's not the first bad experience. I mean, I can name about 3 more experiences right now, and Kenny is one of them. I was there with him. She was about to crash out on Kenny at Mania, bro. That was nasty.
She was like, looked like she was coming to fight me. I'm like, whoa, you gotta
because Kenny was behind her and not in that way, but he was waiting for me because I was paying for my food, and she was like, get away. She told Kenny, get away from me. And Kenny was like, I'm just waiting
on our food.
Wow.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. But yes, big shouts out to Taco Kid. We did meet Taco Kid. What show was that, Big Om? All Out?
It was Wrestle Dream. It's in the chat.
Yeah, we had to wait until Chris Jericho match. As soon as Chris Jericho comes on, Big Om's like, all right, let's go.
No, man. That's why I was upset at this show. That's why my voice is so hoarse, because there was no Chris Jericho match. I strained my voice, and now I sound like a teenager going through puberty. It sucks.
Thank God Chris Jericho was not around, man.
No, man, you would have loved Chris Jericho on this card because that would have been 3 matches.
That would have been your break to go get food and drinks. Your learning tree moment.
Anyway, y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, we're not done, bro.
I wasn't gonna. I wasn't gonna wrap it up.
You know,
I had one more quick suggestion, but go ahead, Omer.
Well, I got something. I got something that might not be wrestling related, but I do want to get Brian's thoughts on. Earlier today, Drake. Hey, Drake. Won a little lawsuit against Universal Music Group and Spotify, Brian. Many people are saying that Drake is crashing out. He is suing them, alleging that the views and the streams on Kendrick's song "Not Like Us," the song
it wasn't organic at all.
Well, they were organic.
We're not organic, and he's suing them. Many people are crashing out. Drake is the dude shouting "Police, help!" on the Metro. He's this is his January. You know what people are saying online? They're crashing out on him. Brian, how do you defend Mr. Aubrey?
Okay, one, obviously he's had trouble with his label, which is why he posts all his music online for free. So that's one of the biggest things that I want to point out there. He is not getting along with his label. He might as well be independent at the moment. I just want to go on ahead and point that out. So he's trying to sue them to get out of his contract. Another thing, there was times, bro, where I would be playing a song and Kendrick's song would come on right after without me doing nothing. It had nothing to do with it. No, bro. I'm not talking about just Drake. I'm talking about I could be listening to A Boogie, bro. And A Boogie, my favorite rapper.
It's the song of the summer, bro. Everyone was listening to that song.
But that's my point, bro. It does not with another song. It does not come on just like that, like randomly. Like, bro, I was literally listening to I would literally look up a song. And it would come up. Spotify was doing it too. It was just adding it into people.
You know how many times Family Matters came on my thing and I had to hit that? Nope, that's what we don't care about.
Bro. Don't lie to me.
I'm not lying to you.
That wasn't happening with Family Matters, bro. Like
it wasn't trending. Nobody was listening to it.
Bro, the thing, it went like number 4, number 5. But anyway,
I just think number 1. I mean,
he had to defend it, even though
and Family Matters was the best song out of that whole disc. I just want to point that out. Not like us, bro. Listen, bro. I ain't even 100%. Go listen to the words. Go listen to the words.
Anyway, Euphoria was the best one out of all.
Anyway, I'm gonna put you, bro. Euphoria was trash. Anyway,
bro.
This album was just this Kendrick Lamar album was just rated the best of the decade. That album was not that good, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It had about 4 to 5, but it was not best of the decade, bro.
Wait, who rated it best of the decade?
It was hip hop charts.
Hopefully it wasn't.
Hip hop charts is what we don't care about, bro. They just trying to get clicks. Come on,
bro. My whole point is, bro, is that's part of the reason why Drake is doing what he's doing, bro. Is unorganically being pushed everywhere.
By that,
it's a
Kendrick Lamar, and honestly, bro, and honestly,
he's about to sue all the content creators because like they just saying whatever they. Come on, man, that's not.
No, bro. You gotta go. Y'all gotta go read the lawsuit, bro. There's more in there. That's way more. Yes, I read the lawsuit, bro. I'm into all that hip hop stuff. Like, why would I not read the lawsuit?
At least somebody read the lawsuit this time.
I didn't read it because I'm like, bro, what are you doing? This can't be
bro. The thing is, I just want to make it clear. He's not suing Kendrick Lamar. He's suing the label. Kendrick Lamar got nothing to do with
Kendrick Lamar's song,
bro, because it was unorganically pushed. It was unorganically pushed, bro.
Kendrick Lamar is the first rapper to ever be dissed over a diss song. Besides Eminem, his mom sued him, but that's different. Well, I guess Kendrick is Drake's dad at this point, right?
Yeah, basically.
So are we getting Kendrick Drake at WrestleMania? Is that what's happening here?
At the Super Bowl.
Nah, well, Drake will be kickstarting his tour in Australia on the day of the Super Bowl, where he's actually going to get paid for what he's doing over there. If you feel what I'm saying.
I will say I have Drake fans like on my timeline who are even like, damn, this is cringe. Like
it's not, bro. It's not cringe at all, bro.
Cringe,
because
man.
at the end of the day,
man.
if it's hurting him economically. If he's getting also defamation stuff, talking about he's a pedophile and all this extra stuff, bro. I don't blame him, bro.
And he hasn't denied it. He hasn't denied it.
Anyway, and that's just what it is, bro. I cannot sit here and say, oh, Drake is tripping for that, bro. If it was unorganically pushed, and Drake is one of their artists, by the way. Drake is one of their artists, and the same company that rocks with Drake and has Drake signed to them was pushing his rival's music unorganically the whole time.
Can I hold up? No, I got a few things. Number one, Drake losing out on revenue. Oh, oh my god, the billionaire losing out on revenue. Oh, miss me with that, bro. Secondly, bro, you're out here talking about like how he talking about all this defamation. Drake to this day has not filed a lawsuit against Kendrick. Drake to this day has not denied the allegations from Kendrick outside of the baby. That's it. Outside of that, he hasn't done nothing. He hasn't said nothing.
So he did deny the allegations, though. I think he was just on somebody's stream. He said, "You got to come to me with facts, not
he did deny
fairy tales." He denied it.
He didn't deny it, man.
Yes, he did.
I mean, but what do you do? What do you do, big home?
What are you supposed to say?
I'm not a PDF.
I'm not a PDF.
If it matters,
now you look even worse.
It's about Drake being a sore loser. That's what it's about, bro.
Not about a sore loser, bro. If the music is being unorganically pushed and he has proof, Drake is not going to do this without proof. Drake not going to do this without proof, bro. Who's wasting? Who in their right mind is wasting their time without proof? Hey, man. That's what it is.
Bro, he wasted time with his disses. It didn't matter because he got
We'll see what happens in the lawsuit because he already said he going for a RICO after this, a civil case RICO after this.
What? Okay, I don't follow any of this hip hop nonsense, like none of it. But I want to know what happened with. No, but I want to know what happened with Drake's fan base because pre-pandemic, at like the arena I work at, his concerts were bangers. They made tons of money, lots of drinking crowd, like huge drinking crowd, blah blah blah. He comes in 2024 and the majority of the entire audience is underage. They're all not drinking age or they're like 20, 21. Like, why did his fan base 5 years later get like 10 years younger? Like, what happened to his older fan base that were of age in 2019 and that were like in their 20s and maybe early 30s or something? But what happened to that fan base? Why did he lose that fan base? And like his new fan base?
You want to know why, Dubs? You want to know why?
Because
he stopped being a rapper. He became a pop star. That's
what's wrong with that. With Drake.
Like, come on, bro.
He's one of the biggest pop stars of the century. So I didn't know what happened. He was a big name for a while, but
he can, bro. He'll rap better than your favorite rapper. Go listen to old Drake. Go listen to old Drake. Please do.
Yeah, that's why he had those older fans, and then they all left him because he was like,
bro. Because at the end of the day, Drake got to please the demographic, bro. Drake got to please the demo, bro. And that's just what it is. At the end of the day, bro.
Rap better than anybody. He got ghostwriters.
Because go listen to his old songs, bro. He could do it. I don't care about the ghostwriter allegations. So y'all can come around and prove it to me, bro. We can do that.
No, it's been proven. His reference tracks dropped.
Okay, and Drake.
Well, thank you though. That answered my question because I was just curious on how his. Because most bands, when you go see somebody, like if you saw Snoop Dogg 10 years ago, you go to a Snoop concert today, you're gonna get those same fans coming out that went to see him 10 years ago, right? And that just wasn't the case with Drake, and I thought it was weird.
The thing is, bro, like people like to sit here and talk about Drake gonna get slapped around and clown and this, that, bro. At the end of the day, bro, that clown runs the music industry. He's number one in streaming.
Why is he doing the music?
He hasn't dropped.
Because he wants to expose him. You know why, Omer? You want to know why? You want to know why, Omer? Because he is bigger. He is bigger than the music industry. He doesn't have to promote his music. He doesn't have to do anything. He's still gonna sell over 500,000. He don't, and Kendrick is about to get 260 in sales. Yeah, you should go keep up with that because that is horrible for Kendrick Lamar.
Let's see what Drake gets. Drake hasn't dropped
his music's getting pushed.
Drake hasn't dropped.
Not like us was pushed. Not
So
like
why
us
isn't
with
his
push.
current album getting pushed? Come on, man.
Bro, it's up to the record
you
labels to push the
talking
record.
right now, bro, without no background
What do you mean
facts,
I'm talking
bro.
right now, bro? I've been spitting facts the whole time. You've been talking from an emotional place. You're like, Drake's my favorite rapper.
I follow hip hop, bro, like the whole
So
time,
do I, bro.
bro, but you not speaking with facts right now. You just
Why
trying
am
to
I
debunk
not- what am I
everything
not
without
I don't know,
facts.
Brian. You just said Drake. You just talk about Drake bars and he got ghostwriters. Like you are automatically disqualified from a bar conversation if you ever get caught
All
with
right,
ghostwriters.
bro. Even then, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Truthfully, I don't care because at the end of the day, he's still been running the game. He's still number one this year, despite all of these
Ghostwriters.
Why should I feel
allegations
bad for
and
the
all
number
this
one
stuff that
rapper
they
in the
capping
world,
about.
the most influential rapper in the world? Why should I feel bad for him? He's like, other people's music getting pushed, and mine's not. Bro, he's a billionaire.
It has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with his music not getting pushed. It has everything to do with it being done unorganically. It's been done unorganically. It's been done unorganically. The Not Like Us thing was
I don't know, Brian.
unorganically,
Look
bro.
at that poll in the chat. I don't know.
Cook.
Bro, there's about 50 people in here, bro. That's what I don't
But
care
I mean,
about.
it's
And-
Oh, you don't care about
100,
our
bro.
fans? That's crazy, man.
I'm saying I don't care about 50 people, votes or whatever, bro. Like at the end of the day,
Kanye West is one of the greatest of
that
all
don't-
time, but I can't talk about his bars because he got caught with ghostwriters.
who got caught with ghostwriters?
Kanye West.
I mean, bro, at the
So
end
I
of the day,
mean,
bro,
Drake
I'm
is
not
out of
here.
that conversation just like Kanye
At
is.
the end of the day, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and deny somebody greatness, bro. That's just what it is, bro. Drake, you know what I'm saying? Drake, Kendrick, both great. But at the end of the day, bro, if he's suing, he's not gonna waste his time on something that he can't prove.
So salty,
we'll
bro.
see.
He's gonna lose. He's gonna
We'll
lose.
see.
He's salty.
He's not gonna lose, bro.
How
I
do
don't
you
know how to tell you.
somebody after you lose a
Drake
rap
is
battle?
bigger than
That
the
is
industry, bro. That's
insanity, bro.
that's what y'all fell into realize, bro. Drake could go independent right now and still get as many sales without the label backing
That's
him
not
up.
true. Why do you think he's with a label? Because that is not true.
Bro, he can go
Bro,
without a
those
label and do
labels
his
is a
thing.
machine.
Bro, and that he can still get the same numbers without the label.
And
He
you know what
don't do
gonna
no
have to do?
promotion.
He's gonna have to pay for all
Bro.
his beats. He's gonna have to find his beats.
And that's fine.
And-
It's already been confirmed, bro, that Drake works on his own time. He tells the label, yo, I want to drop on this date. Labels usually control the artist and tell them, nah, we need you to drop this
Bro,
date.
it's Drake.
Drake
I
do
mean,
his own thing. He's
If
bigger
The
than
Rock
the industry.
comes
They
in-
don't want
if
to
The
pay
Rock
him.
comes in to Raw, he's gonna tell them what he wants to do.
Because Drake is due for a $600 million contract right now, and they don't want to pay him. They don't want to pay him.
Someone in the chat just put WWE and OVO representation.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's Jay Barnacles. What you mean, somebody in the chat, bro?
No.
That's Jay Barnacles.
Nobody want. No,
Legend.
bro. They don't want to pay Drake, bro. So he wants to get out of that contract.
Brian's way is
Oh,
crazy.
there you go, Keyshawn dropping facts too.
Nah, bro. At the end of the day, bro, that's just what it is, bro.
Keyshawn,
I
relax.
ain't worried about that, bro.
All right,
Oh,
y'all.
wait, is
Listen,
Keyshawn
we'll
the one who
see.
said Kendrick is where hip hop should be? Drake is where hip hop went.
Bro, Kendrick
So
music,
So how
bro.
about that Mina Shirakawa segment with
Kendrick's-
Mariah May, eh, guys?
Oh,
Kendrick-
Yeah, let's
Mina
talk about Mina
Shirakawa,
and
baby.
Shakira. So they was out there
God,
going
that was
crazy.
so
Did
weird.
y'all
Bro,
see the-
Kendrick, bro.
Did y'all see the
Forget all that.
on her head?
Kendrick's album.
Yeah.
Kendrick's
And
album,
then
bro. His cadence is
kissing on
trash.
Mariah May's head, putting all that blood on her.
Yo,
Going
that
She
DJ
had
Ken
like a
style,
big
licking
old
the
knot.
blood.
I thought it was fake, but she had a big old
no,
knot
bro.
on her head.
That
Yeah.
kick that Mina Shirakawa did on the bottle, that was crazy. To
On
do
the
it
bottle.
in heels on a stage like that, shout out
I'm
to
not
her.
in denial,
I
man.
thought
Just
part of
enjoy
the
the
bottle
music.
might have sliced her or something when she was cut like that.
I'm talking to the chat. I'm talking to
We're
the chat.
talking about Mina Shirakawa, and you out here talking about Drake.
I'm
Come on,
talking to
man.
the chat.
Mina
I'm talking to the chat.
Shirakawa, baby.
I'm
I don't know
saying,
why
bro,
they
just
did that
enjoy
with
the
no
music.
build-up. Why did they make the breakup with no build-up randomly?
Oh no,
I get she needs.
They've
They've been building it up.
They've
I
been
think
building it.
they've been
building
kind of
this?
building it up since.
Yes.
What on Collision?
No, on
Have they been
Dynamite.
building it on Rampage and Collision? Because this has not been on
and
Dynamite. I
another
have
thing,
not
bro.
seen the build.
Forget this wrestling talk, bro. Almost started this, bro. Another thing, bro. Y'all
Kissthering
want
hip hop,
want to
baby.
talk about all this stuff, bro. One dude from allegedly from TDE got caught up.
No, that was
doing some
cap.
stuff. And
That was
another
cap.
thing.
That
Why
was
was
cap. He
Dr.
was
Dre?
not TDE.
Why was Dr. Dre on stage with Kendrick Lamar? He got a weird case. Why is he around?
Dr.
All right,
Dre
man.
got a weird
Hey,
case.
bro, listen, bro. The narratives, bro, that everybody want to build around all this stuff. Nobody calls Kendrick.
Wow,
when
you
he
standing
got
up
when
for
he
you
got him.
standing up for Drake being a PDF?
We are
Come on,
very
I'm
ready
just
for
saying, bro.
Survivor
If y'all
Series,
gonna, if y'all
Sammy.
gonna spin
We
it
are
a certain
very
way,
ready.
y'all gotta
I
call
will
out
be
Kendrick
there in
in
the
the
flesh.
You know what I'm saying?
We saw Drake on stage.
I'm excited for
with a young
Survivor
woman.
Series,
that was
Sammy.
crazy.
Thank you for asking.
Hey, man.
We saw
Hey.
Drake on stage with a young woman. Talking
Okay.
about, ooh, if you were just a little bit
Darius.
older. All right, y'all.
Darius,
Thank
the
y'all.
more
Let's get
things
up outta
change,
here,
the more
though.
things stay
Anyway.
the same, Darius.
Anyway, whoa, before we get up out of here, I do want to say a big thank you to our guest of the day, Mr. Dubs, in the building. Shout out to Mr. Dubs. Mr. Dubs, where can people find you, or what are you up to? Let them know.
You can find me over on YouTube at Mr. Dubs on YouTube. And I just put out my review of Marvel Rivals from the beta that I got to play, which was a lot of fun, as well as my top 10 wish list of characters I would like to see come to Marvel Rivals. So those both went out up this morning. So go check that out. And you can also find me on Twitter/X over at Mr. Dubs86.
Kenny and I can't find you, Mr. Dubs.
No?
Oh no,
Because you
he
can't
blocked
see
us.
me, son.
Got us blocked and locked away.
Anyway, but shout out to Mr. Dubs. I saw like the Dragon Ball Z hype you've been doing. So shout out to you.
I really enjoy Sparking Zero. I don't know why the player base
You do?
completely fell off a cliff. I like that game.
You know
I like
what?
it a lot.
I don't like it too much.
But are you into fighters in general?
Oh, I love fighters, bro. That's like my main thing. But my thing is,
so is it
hold on,
is it
fighters
the
or
combat?
Sparking Zero?
Sparking
I
Zero.
think it's the combat because it doesn't feel like
Yeah.
the old Tenkaichi games to me for some reason. I'm just not
And
getting
that
that
matters
same
to you
feel.
because I never played the Tenkaichi games, and I like it.
Yeah. See, I was expecting Tenkaichi, Rage and Blast, but it's just something different about it. And the story mode didn't click with me. I was like, oh man, I was really excited. for this
Single
thing.
player wasn't good. The single player to me wasn't
And I'm
good,
a
but I
single
really
player guy.
enjoyed DP battles. I
That's
like
the thing,
having
I'm a
the
single player
points
guy.
battles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that Clint felt the same way. Shout out to Strizer, but he fell off the game right away. Thought Xenoverse is better. He did not like the single player experience, but he's not an online guy. Like he
Same
doesn't
for
play
me.
PvP matches. So
That's why.
for me, that's what I'm all about. So I enjoyed it. I just hate that there's no crossplay. So I couldn't play with Loaded or anything because he's on PlayStation.
Yeah,
I don't like the lack of crossplay.
yeah, man. That's my thing, though. I'm a big single player in the story mode. I was like, oh, this isn't.
That
doing
I
it for
understand.
me.
Then for
And it hurt.
100% understand that.
All right, Big Om, how you feel about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero?
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero
That's what we don't care about. Big
is
Om.
what I only care about.
Omer's
when
not
I'm
a
watching
gamer,
all
right?
Videos for real, for real.
Not a big gamer, nah. He's just a little.
Yeah, Omer's not big into gaming, right? Do you game at all?
Y'all want to know something crazy? Brian's gonna hate me for this. He's really gonna hate me. You know what game I played like right before I got on stream while I was watching the Ravens cook?
Fight forever.
Actually, I was playing Fight Forever.
Woo!
Oh, no way.
Big Om.
What
with
did you
the big
think?
Dome.
No, I mean like here's the thing. It's
Have you
literally
played it
just-
before?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's literally just a fighting game you can pick up and play. Like that. That's like
It's
I don't
fun.
play it often, but like sometimes I'm in the mood for like I just want to like have like a match or whatever. Disassociate. I put it on. Like I'm not prime suspect number one playing this game or whatever. I ain't trying to promote it. It's just it is what it is. I was like I picked it up.
It's not worth the
Awesome.
promo, man.
I think it was a fun game. They just needed to tweak
think it
it
was a fun
and do
game.
things to fix it, but they never did. And the single player experience is kind of non-existent. That's the problem with a lot of these games. There is no
Shout out-
single player experience.
Shout out to the unshaven one.
All
said
right,
Fight
the
Forever all day.
2K25 season coming
There
around.
you go.
Are you going to be making some 2K25 content with us?
What's up? I didn't hear you cut out for me on the last part. What'd you say?
2K25 is coming around. Will you be making some 2K25 content with us? Will the people be able to see Mr. Dubs making content with us on 2K25?
I mean, I'll be making content on it. I mean, as far as doing stuff on the
Well,
channel,
I
if you
guess
guys
that's to know y'all.
if
Y'all
you-
can go check out Mr.
if you
Dubs.
guys got the invites out there for me, I'm happy to come on and help.
Bro, we've been
and,
throwing
you know,
invites out to you for
podcast,
months,
whatever.
my boy. Let the people know.
Hey,
We've
whoa.
been throwing the invites, y'all, but Mr. Dubs is like,
no.
that's what
Where
I'm
were you
not.
throwing them?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You got us muted on your account. We were
You
right. You were
talked
like,
to
"Yo,
me
Mr.
on
Dubs,
my
don't
live
do it.
stream.
Don't
We
do
literally
it."
talked when I was on a live stream.
Yeah, but I had to go on my fake page.
All right. No, none of this.
Yes.
None of this. All right.
No, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, you know.
I'm
it's
saying
all
if the
good. We
invite's
love
there,
Mr.
I'm
Dubs. Y'all know I've been trying to get
I'm not a
him
hard
for
person to
long
find. I'm
time.
happy to show up. I was
Alright.
happy to come on today. I'm happy to come on again.
All right, that's all we wanted to
I got
know.
no
Mr.
worries.
Dubs. We appreciate you. Big
Appreciate
O.
you.
Subscribe, follow Mr. Dubs, youtube.com/Mr. Dubs, I believe. Go subscribe to him. Great content. Be sure to hit that like button on this video as well. Brian, Kenny, Dubs, me. Be sure to. Oh, Kenny, wait, hold on. How does it
wait,
go?
hold on.
I'm cooked.
Y'all
My
got to
brain-
make sure. Hold on. Before I do it, Big O, you going to show them the BBL before we get up out of here? Or you going to save that for the next stream? Make sure y'all don't forget to grip that thing.